First of all, thanks to the Ignite team putting on a cracking event here. It's a real privilege to be here and get to meet with a lot of people and potential investors. So thank you very much for having me. It's also great to be straight after someone talking about lithium again. I'm a big fan of lithium, been a lithium geologist for many years, and I won't be talking about our lithium asset today, but if anyone wants to come talk to me about lithium, I'll be more than happy to talk about that. So battery-age minerals, positioned at the crossroads of mega trends. So I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to refine this presentation. Obviously, only 9 minutes to get across some fairly a lot of messages here. So I'll keep it quite short. Corporate profile. Look, we haven't been immune to the battles that small cap explorers have had over the past 12 to 24 months. And I'd like to point your attention to our market capitalisation sits between 7 and 8 million on any given day. If you take into account our cash, which is about $1.8 million after a raise that we did in January, plus our investment in another presenting company here, which is worth about $4 million, that means that we're trading roughly at shell value. And when taking into consideration the quality of our assets and our portfolio, I think you'll recognise that represents a very unique value proposition for investors. Company highlights. So we are a diversified mineral explorer. We have a diversified portfolio for the future. So we're positioned at the crossroads of 3 megatrends: future of energy, security, AI and technology, and financial resilience. And that's personified with our 3 major projects. So we have a very high potential, very unique project in the EU, which is the Bleiberg project, which is the germanium and gallium project. We believe we have the best exposure to the strategic metal of germanium globally. And potentially offers a European supply alternative to a China export control or controlled mineral there. With very large scale, high grade, high potential asset in Santa Cruz province in Argentina. So this has kilometre scale, high grade surface expression, grades of up to 174 grams a tonne for gold and over 4,700 grams per tonne of silver. In a fantastic jurisdiction there in South America. And we have demonstrated exploration and drilling success at our Canadian lithium asset, where we've had grades of up to, or intercepts of up to 54.1 metres at 1.74% lithium. We have a 5 kilometre mineralised trend there, and we're only just scratched the surface there. All 3 projects have kilometre scale drill targets to go test. And they're all strategically positioned geographically. So they meet a bunch of criteria that we have. First of all, they're in mining-friendly jurisdictions. They're close to existing infrastructure, roads and rail, and they are proximal to downstream markets. So we couldn't be better positioned geographically to capitalise on any of these markets here. First of all, I'll talk to our Bleiberg zinc, lead and germanium project. So this is an amazing project, very rich mining history. In fact, the area was mined for over 700 years and it closed in the early 90s due to declining base metals pricing and also a shift in government policy. However, we became initially interested in the project not for the zinc or lead, but for the germanium potential. And in fact, at the time of its closure, it was one of the largest producers of germanium concentrate globally. We have 142 square kilometres here of rich and prospective tenure for germanium and zinc, and we have explored it and we are ready to drill. So what is germanium? Germanium is an elite semiconductor. So when it comes to anything that requires high processing capabilities, whether it be for the automotive industry, weapons, AI, quantum computing, the germanium chips reign king. So we've seen the prices of germanium skyrocket over the last 12 months in response to Chinese sanctions on export. So China controls the market for 99.8% of any new metal units that are produced into the globe of germanium. And we believe that there's a real need for an alternative supply of this strategic future-facing metal outside of a China-controlled area. And we couldn't be better positioned, smack bang in the middle of Europe, which has a very large semiconductor manufacturing market. We couldn't be better placed there to be part of that supply story. What have we done to date? We acquired hundreds of years of historic data set of exploration and mining records from the historic mine. We've been to work 3 campaigns on the ground there with myself and Dr. Simon Dorling, an expert in these deposits. And we've ground truthed and refined our drill targets there that we've submitted in for our maiden drilling application, which is expected to be received back this month. So it's only a few days left. Once we have this received, we'll get on the ground and start testing it with the drill bit. In addition to this, we've expanded our footprint through the area. So pegged a very large land package, 290 square kilometres there in the southeast of the state of Carinthia. Prospective for lead, zinc and germanium. There's a 30-kilometre trend there of zinc and germanium mineralisation, references of over 845 grams per tonne, and some are far higher than that I can't actually jalk, but far higher than that. So I'm talking about grades that are high enough to go straight into the refining process without having to concentrate. So I just recently got back from Austria, where I got to visit this new project and extremely keen to go and explore the area. So what's next in Austria? Receive a drill permit, expand the known mineralisation, but also come up high up on our priority list is the identification and quantification of old tail streams through this historic mining region. We're in conversations with some very big companies in Europe who are mineral refiners. And if we can quantify this to a quality that's economic, this could give us an early entry into being a producer for this strategic metal. There's only 3 minutes 20 left, so I'll push through this next piece here. I got in from Argentina at our newly acquired project the night before last, and I was overwhelmed by the scale and the prospectivity of this region. So the Aguila Project is located in the Santa Cruz province in southern Argentina. It's surrounded by rich gold and silver operating mines. However, the area has suffered from a lack of exploration over the past 10 to 15 years, and this project is the same. So it's suffered from non-systematic exploration, and we believe we can really unlock the value through our expertise. So the area has kilometre scale surface mineralisation, extremely high grades, as I mentioned, 174 grams a tonne gold, over 4,700 grams a tonne silver. And many of the targets have remained undrill tested at all. So we have very limited drilling that's been done on the project. Most of it is sub 100 metres, and 9 of those targets, which I just had up on the chart there before, remain undrill tested. And we believe we can really unlock the full value of this, and believe once we start drilling, this will really shift our share price. The path forward at this project is very simple. Get drill permitted. We've already done all of our baseline surveys. We've got the geology team on the ground already. We'll move towards our maiden drill campaign in the coming months, and we'll keep drilling until we can define a maiden resource. Obviously, we are in the region of operating mines. The metallurgy and the processing techniques have already been proven for these types of deposits. So we believe we have a real leg up here, and there's obviously existing infrastructure around this project. As I talked about before, our lithium project, we have had outstanding results, and I'm very keen to talk to anyone who wants to talk about lithium. Come visit me at booth number 10. So investment highlights, why invest in us? As mentioned, at current valuation, when we're trading at a shell and considering the work we've done, the quality of our assets, I think this represents a very unique value proposition for investors. We're positioned at the intersection of megatrends, so green energy, critical tech security, inflation hedging metals, and we're positioned perfectly at the intersection of all 3 of those. We have a diversified and strategic portfolio. I'm often asked, are we distracted? We certainly are not. Being diversified is not distracted, and we're extremely focused on progressing our projects. We have those 3 projects that I've mentioned before, and we believe we're an attractive valuation and many near-term catalysts. Thanks for your time, guys. Hopefully I stuck to 10 minutes, and if you want to hear more, come see me at the booth. Thank you very much.